Yes, welcome back. I discharged my camcorder and uploads. So let's read it finish. So it's 1 p.m. So let's continue reading. But I have to check my cell phone because I've been sitting like 1 hour typing and uploading. I have to check. Yes. So let's read, finish, continue.
Thin corridors open to airliners. Britain is closing military airspace only during Air Force exercises. Call scenes, edit. A prerequisite to safe air traffic separation is the assignment and use of distinctive call signs. These are permanently allocated by ICAO on request, usually to scheduled flights and some air forces and other military services for military flights. There are written call scenes with a three-letter combination followed by the flight number, such as AAL 872 or VLG 1011. As such, they appear on flight plans and ATC radar labels. There are also the audio or radio telephony call scenes used on the radio contact between pilots and air traffic control. These are not always identical to their written counterparts. An example of an audio call scene would be Speedbird 832, instead of the written BAW 832. This is used to reduce the chance of confusion between ATC and the aircraft. By default, the call scene for any other flight is the registration number, tail number, of the aircraft, such as N12345, CGAP or ECIZD. The short radio telephony call scenes for these tail numbers is the last three letters using the NATO phonetic alphabet, for example ABC spoken Alpha Bravo Charlie for CGAP, or the last three numbers, for example 345 for N12345. In the United States, the prefix may be an aircraft type, model or manufacturer in place of the first registration character. For example, N11842 could become Cessna 842. This abbreviation is only allowed after communications have been established in each sector. Before around 1980, International Air Transport Association, IATA, and ICAO were using the same two-letter call scenes. Due to the larger number of new airlines after deregulation, ICAO established the three-letter call scenes as mentioned above. The IATA call scenes are currently used in aerodromes on the announcement tables but are no longer used in air traffic control. For example, AA is the IATA call scene for American Airlines. The ATC equivalent is AAL. Flight numbers in regular commercial flights are designated by the aircraft operator, and identical call scene might be used for the same scheduled journey each day it is operated, even if the departure time varies a little across different days of the week. The call scene of the return flight often differs only by the final digit from the outbound flight. Generally, airline flight numbers are even if eastbound, and odd if westbound. In order to reduce the possibility of two call scenes on one frequency at any time sounding too similar, a number of airlines, particularly in Europe, have started using alphanumeric call scenes that are not based on flight numbers. For example, DLH-23LG, spoken as Lufthansa 23 Lima Golf, to prevent confusion between incoming DLH-23 and outgoing DLH-24 in the same frequency. Additionally, it is the right of the air traffic controller to change the audio call scene for the period the flight is in his sector if there is a risk of confusion, usually choosing the tail number instead. Technology, edit. Many technologies are used in air traffic control systems. Primary and secondary radar are used to enhance a controller's situation awareness within his assigned airspace. All types of aircraft send back primary echoes of varying sizes to controllers' screens as radar energy is bounced off their skins, and transponder-equipped aircraft reply to secondary radar interrogations by giving an ID, mode O, an altitude, mode C, and / or a unique call scene, mode S. Certain types of weather may also register on the radar screen. These inputs, added to data from other radars, are correlated to build the air situation. Some basic processing occurs on the radar tracks, such as calculating ground speed and magnetic headings. Usually, a flight data processing system manages all the flight plan-related data, incorporating in a low or high degree the information of the track once the correlation between them, flight plan and track, is established. All this information is distributed to modern operational display systems, making it available to controllers. The FAA has spent over $3 billion on software, but a fully automated system is still yet to be achieved. In 2002 the UK brought a new Area Control Centre into service at the London Area Control Centre, Swanwick, Hampshire, relieving a busy suburban centre at West Drayton, Middlesex, north of London Heathrow Airport. Software from Lockheed Martin predominates at the London Area Control Centre. However, the centre was initially troubled by software and communications problems causing delays and occasional shutdowns. Some tools are available in different domains to help the controller further. 1. Flight Data Processing Systems. This is the system, usually 1%er, that processes all the information related to the flight plan, typically in the time horizon from gate to gate, airport departure / arrival gates. It uses such processed information to invoke other flight plan related tools, such as for example MTCD, and distributes such processed information to all the stakeholders, air traffic controllers, collateral centers, airports, etc. 2. Short-term conflict alert, STCA, that checks possible conflicting trajectories in a time horizon of about 2 or 3 minutes, or even less in approach context 35 seconds in the French Roissy and Orly approach centers, and alerts the controller prior to the loss of separation. The algorithms used may also provide in some systems a possible vectoring solution, that is, the manner in which to turn, descend, increase / decrease speed, or climb the aircraft in order to avoid infringing the minimum safety distance or altitude clearance. 3. Minimum safe altitude warning, or a tool that alerts the controller if an aircraft appears to be flying too low to the ground or will impact terrain based on its current altitude and heading. 4. System coordination, Cisco, to enable controller to negotiate the release of flights from one sector to another. 5. Area penetration warning, APW, to inform a controller that a flight will penetrate a restricted area. 6. Arrival and departure manager to help sequence the takeoff and landing of aircraft. 1. The departure manager, a system made for the ATC at airports, that calculates a planned departure flow with the goal to maintain an optimal throughput at the runway, reduce queuing at holding point and distribute the information to various stakeholders at the airport, i.e. the airline, ground handling and air traffic control, ATC. 2. The arrival manager, a system made for the ATC at airports, that calculates a planned arrival flow with the goal to maintain an optimal throughput at the runway, reduce arrival queuing and distribute the information to various stakeholders. 3. Passive final approach spacing tool, PFAST, ATC tool, provides runway assignment and sequence number advisories to terminal controllers to improve the arrival rate at congested airports. PFAST was deployed and operational at 5 US TICONs before being cancelled. NASA research included an active FAST capability that also provided vector and speed advisories to implement the runway and sequence advisories. 7 Converging Runway Display Aid, CRDA, enables approach controllers to run 2 final approaches that intersect and make sure that go-arounds are minimized. 8 Center Trucking Automation System, CTAS, is a suite of human-centered decision support tools developed by NASA Ames Research Center. Several of the CTAS tools have been field tested and transitioned to the FAA for operational evaluation and use. Some of the CTAS tools are Traffic Management Advisor, TMA, Passive Final Approach Spacing Tool, PFAST, Collaborative Arrival Planning, CAP, Direct to D2, En Route Descent Advisor, EDA, and Multicenter TMA. The software is running on Linux. 9 Traffic Management Advisor, TMA, ATC tool, is an En route decision support tool that automates time-based metering solutions to provide an upper limit of aircraft to ATC from the center over a set period of time. Schedules are determined that will not exceed the specified arrival rate, and controllers use the scheduled times to provide the appropriate delay to arrivals while in the En route domain. This results in an overall reduction in En route delays and also moves the delays to more efficient airspace, higher altitudes, than occur if holding near the Trucking boundary, which is required in order to prevent overloading the Trucking controllers. TMA is operational at most En route air route traffic control centers, ATCCs, and continues to be enhanced to address more complex traffic situations, for example adjacent center metering, ACM, and En route departure capability, EDC. 10 MTCD and UREAT. 1 in the US, User Request Evaluation Tool, UREAT, takes paper strips out of the equation for En route controllers at ATCCs by providing a display that shows all aircraft that are either in or currently routed into the sector. 2 in Europe, several MTCD tools are available, IFACTS, NATS, VFORIT, DFS, New FDPS, NWAC. The CISAR program should soon launch new MTCD concepts. UREAT and MTCD provide conflict advisories up to 30 minutes in advance and have a suite of assistance tools that assist in evaluating resolution options and pilot requests. One Mode S provides a data downlink of flight parameters via secondary surveillance radars, allowing radar processing systems and therefore controllers to see various data on a flight, including airframe unique ID, 24 bits encoded, indicated airspeed and flight director selected level, amongst others. 2 CPDLC, Controller Pilot Data Link Communications, allows digital messages to be sent between controllers and pilots, avoiding the need to use radio telephony. It is especially useful in areas where difficult-to-use HF radio telephony was previously used for communication with aircraft, for example oceans. This is currently in use in various parts of the world including the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. 3 ADSB, Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, provides a data downlink of various flight parameters to air traffic control systems via the transponder, 1090 MHz, and reception of those data by other aircraft in the vicinity. The most important is the aircraft's latitude, longitude and level. Such data can be utilized to create a radar-like display of aircraft for controllers and thus allows a form of pseudo-radar control to be done in areas where the installation of radar is either prohibitive on the grounds of low traffic levels, or technically not feasible, for example oceans. This is currently in use in Australia, Canada and parts of the Pacific Ocean and Alaska. For the Electronic Flight Strip System, eStrip. A system of electronic flight strips replacing the old paper strips is being used by several service providers, such as NAV Canada, Majuik, DFS, DCIA. eStrips allows controllers to manage electronic flight data online without paper strips, reducing the need for manual functions, creating new tools and reducing the ATCO's workload. The first electronic flight strips systems were independently and simultaneously invented and implemented by NAV Canada and Cipher ATC in 1999. The NAV Canada system, known as EXCTS and rebranded in 2011 to NAVC AINStrips, and Cipher's first generation system known as SGTC, which is now being updated by its second generation system, the TATIC TWR. DCIA in Brazil is the world's largest user of tower eStrips system, ranging from very small airports up to the busiest ones, taking the advantage of real-time information and data collection from each of more than 150 sites for use in air traffic flow management, ATFM, billing and statistics. One-screen content recording, hardware or software-based recording function, which is part of most modern automation system and that captures the screen content shown to the ATCO. Such recordings are used for later replay together with audio recording for investigations and post-event analysis. 2. Communication Navigation Surveillance /Air Traffic Management, CNS/ATM, systems are communications, navigation, and surveillance systems, employing digital technologies, including satellite systems together with various levels of automation, applied in support of a seamless global air traffic management system. Air Navigation Service Providers, ANSPs, and Air Traffic Service Providers, ATSPs, edit. Main article, Air Navigation Service Provider. 1. Azerbaijan Azrara Navigация. 2. Albania Alp Control. 3. Algeria Etablissement National de la Navigation Aérienne, INA. 4. Argentina, Empresa Argentina de Navegación Aérea, EANA. 5. Armenia Armenian Air Traffic Services, ARMATS. 6. Australia Air Services Australia, government-owned corporation, and Royal Australian Air Force. 7. Austria Austrocontrol. 8. Bangladesh Civil Aviation Authority, Bangladesh. 9. Belarus Republican Unitary Enterprise, Belarusian Air Navigation. 10. Belgium SKIS, Authority of Airways. 11. Bosnia and Herzegovina Agencija za Promjus Luga Uzranoj Plovidbe, Bosnia and Herzegovina Air Navigation Services Agency. 12. Brazil Departamento de Controle do Espaço Aéreo, ATC/ATM Authority, and ANAC Agência Nacional de Aviação Civil, Civil Aviation Authority. 13. Bulgaria Air Traffic Services Authority. 14. Cambodia Air Traffic Services, CATS. 15. Canada NAV Canada, formerly provided by Transport Canada and Canadian Forces. 16. Cayman Islands CIAA Cayman Islands Airports Authority. 17. Central America Corporation Centro Mercado de Servicios de Navegación Aérea. 1. Guatemala Dirección General de Aeronáutica Civil, GIC. 2. El Salvador. 3. Honduras. 4. Nicaragua Empresa Administradora Aeroportos Internacionales, EAI. 5. Costa Rica Dirección General de Aviación Civil. 6. Belize. 18. Chile Dirección General de Aeronáutica Civil, GIC. 19. Colombia Aeronáutica Civil Colombiana, WILIC. 20. Croatia Hrvatska Controllers Reign Plovidbe, Croatia Control Limited. 21. Cuba Instituto de Aeronáutica Civil de Cuba, IACC. 22 Czech Republic Zenlitovo Provozua. 23 Cyprus, Department of Civil Aviation. 24 Denmark Navy A, Danish ATC. 25 Dominican Republic Instituto Dominicano de Aviación Civil, IDOC, Dominican Institute of Civil Aviation. 26 Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, ECA. 1 Anguilla. 2 Antigua and Barbuda. 3 British Virgin Islands. 4 Dominica. 5 Grenada. 6 Saint Kitts and Nevis. 7 Saint Lucia. 8 Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. 27. Ecuador Dirección General de Aviación Civil, GIC, General Direction of Civil Aviation Government Body. 28 Estonian Air Navigation Services. 29 Eurocontrol, European Organization for the Safety of Air Navigation. 30 Fiji Airports, fully owned government commercial company. 31 Finland Finavia. 32 France Direction Générale de l'Aviation Civile, GIC, Direction des Services de la Navigation Aérienne, DSNA, government body. 33 Georgia Sake Aeronavigация, Limited, Georgian Air Navigation. 34 Germany Deutsche Flugsicherung, German ATC state-owned company. 35 Greece Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority, HCAA. 36 Hong Kong Civil Aviation Department, CAD. 37. Hungary Hungarocontrol Magyar Legiforgalmi Szolgálat ZRT, Hungarocontrol Hungarian Air Navigation Services Pte. Limited Company. 38 Icelandese Avia. 39 Indonesia Airnav Indonesia. 40 Iran Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. 41 Ireland Irish Aviation Authority, IAA. 42 India Airports Authority of India, AAI, under Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India and Indian Air Force. 43 Iraqi Air Navigation ICAA. 44 Israeli Airports Authority, IIA. 45 Italy ENAVSPA and Italian Air Force. 46 Jamaica JCAA, Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority. 47 Japan JCAB, Japan Civil Aviation Bureau. 48 Kenya KCAA, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. 49 Latvia LGS, Latvian ATC. 50. Lithuania ANS, Lithuanian ATC. 51 Luxembourg Administration de la Navigation Aérienne, ANA Government Administration. 52 Macedonia DGCA, Macedonian ATC. 53 Malaysia Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAM. 54 Malta Air Traffic Services Limited. 55 Mexico Servicios a la Navegación en el Espacio Aéreo Mexicano. 56 Morocco, Office National des Aeroports, Honda. 57 Nepal Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal. 58 Netherlands Luchtverkeer Sliding Nederland, LVNL, Dutch ATC, Eurocontrol, Maastricht Upper Area Control Center. 59 New Zealand Airways New Zealand, state-owned enterprise. 60 Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. 61 Norway Avina, state-owned private company. 62 Oman Directorate General of Meteorology and Air Navigation, Government of Oman. 63 Pakistan Civil Aviation Authority, under Government of Pakistan. 64 Peru Centro de Instrucción de Aviación Civil CIAC Civil Aviation Training Center. 65 Philippines Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, CAP, under the Philippine Government. 66 Poland Polish Air Navigation Services Agency, PANZA. 67 Portugal NAV, Portuguese ATC. 68 Puerto Rico Administración Federal de Aviación. 69 Romania Romanian Air Traffic Services Administration, Romadsa. 70 Russia Federal State Unitary Enterprise State ATM Corporation. 71 Saudi Arabia Saudi Air Navigation Services, SAN. 72 Seychelles Seychelles Civil Aviation Authority, SCAA. 73 Singapore Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore, CAS. 74 Serbia Serbia and Montenegro Air Traffic Services Agency Limited, SMADSA. 75 Slovakia Litov Pravadskov Sloby Slovenskej Republiky. 76 Slovenia Slovenia Control. 77 South Africa Air Traffic and Navigation Services, ATNS. 78 South Korea Korea Office of Civil Aviation. 79 Spain AENA now AENASA, Spanish Airports, and NA, ATC and ATSP. 80 Sri Lanka Airport and Aviation Services, Sri Lanka, Limited, government-owned company. 81 Sweden LFV, government body. 82 Switzerland Skygid. 83 Taiwan ANWS, Civil Aeronautical Administration. 84 Thailand Aerothai, Aeronautical Radio of Thailand. 85 Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority, TGA. 86 Turkey General Directorate of State Airports Authority, DHMI. 87 United Arab Emirates General Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA. 88 United Kingdom National Air Traffic Services, NATS, 49% state-owned public-private partnership. 89 United States Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, government body. 90 Ukrainian State Air Traffic Service Enterprise, UKSATSE. 91 Venezuela Instituto Nacional de Aeronáutica Civil, INAC. 92 Vietnam Air Traffic Management Corporation, VATM. 93 Zambia Civil Aviation Authority, ZCAA. 94 Zimbabwe Civil Aviation Authority. Proposed changes, edit. In the United States, some alterations to traffic control procedures are being examined. 1. The next generation air transportation system examines how to overhaul the United States national airspace system. 2. Free flight is a developing air traffic control method that uses no centralized control, for example air traffic controllers. Instead, parts of airspace are reserved dynamically and automatically in a distributed way using computer communication to ensure the required separation between aircraft. In Europe, the SISA, Single European Sky ATM Research Program plans to develop new methods, technologies, procedures, and systems to accommodate future, 2020 and beyond, air traffic needs. In October 2018, European controller unions dismissed setting targets to improve ATC as a waste of time and effort as new technology could cut costs for users but threaten their jobs. In April 2019, the EU called for a digital European sky, focusing on cutting costs by including a common digitization standard and allowing controllers to move to where they are needed instead of merging national ATCs, as it would not solve all problems. Single air traffic control services in continent-sized America and China does not alleviate congestion. Eurocontrol tries to reduce delays by diverting flights to less busy routes. Flight paths across Europe were redesigned to accommodate the new airport in Istanbul, which opened in April, but the extra capacity will be absorbed by rising demand for air travel. Well-paid jobs in Western Europe could move east with cheaper labor. The average Spanish controller earn over €200,000 a year, over 7 times the country average salary, more than pilots, and at least 10 controllers were paid over €810,000, $1.1 million, a year in 2010. French controllers spent a cumulative 9 months on strike between 2004 and 2016. Privatization, edit. Many countries have also privatized or corporatized their air navigation service providers. There are several models that can be used for ATC service providers.